Love Unfiltered.
Today on Love Unfiltered, I have a special guest.
Tutt, president, founder of a public safety organization called New Direction, that's operating out of Newark and some of the other urban cities in our state.
Okay, so let's get straight into it, man. So where you from, bro?
From Newark, New Jersey, born and raised.
What year? What year you was born?
1981.
81. So you raised in the 90s.
Right.
I wasn't
right.
so all right. For some people that don't know, how was Newark in the 90s, like growing up? Like how was you like when you really like touched the ground running, like, you know what I mean?
Right. It was cool. Like back in the 90s, we had like really like, the stolen car era was real high out there.
So New Jersey Drive, that's what I'm running.
Right, New Jersey Drive.
So
exactly.
was you outside when they filmed that or nah?
Yeah, I was outside to see all the cars come through. I was living at race up and down the block, so all the cars, the guys that be stealing cars, they race up and down the block as a kid, we cheering on it. It was exciting for us.
Yeah.
Kids seeing nice fast cars racing through the hood.
So that was like really a big era before everything changed, just stealing cars.
Right.
So was that like, because people used to steal cars, so was it like a thing like violence? Did violence come with it? Or just like people just steal your car and just, because like basically like some people ain't let you take their car, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So was it like people just giving their cars up or they were stealing cars that was parked? Like what was the...
Back in the day, it was more like technology was different.
Okay.
So before, back in the day, you could kind of like break in the car, pop the door handle, snatch the ignition and start it up and get out of there, so they didn't have to go through a lot of things that we experiencing now. But a lot of these guys are doing a lot of carjacks and jumping in cars because you can't pop them up. It's like they all electronic, so you got to catch them while they running, and you can't do it like you could just break in the car and find a key and steal it. So that's why you get a lot of that going on now with these kids.
So
jumping in people's cars.
So do you think so back then, like I said, the era right there was stealing cars, like was that like a like, you know what I mean? Because I'm trying to understand that era is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people stealing cars. I'm trying to like, did it change like the narrative of like how people? Because like say for instance, your mom car gets stolen. You know what I'm saying? But you know the dude like now it's beef. Like you trying to steal. You know what I mean? So like, what made that era change? Because people still stealing cars and shit. But like, what made it change, or it's still like crazy as hell still?
Yeah. So like back in the day, it was a little more integrity with the car thieves. They go out to steal cars. They never stole from where they live at.
Okay.
The blocks around the corner, or somewhere in Newark. They go out in like the suburban areas and steal their stuff and bring it back to the hood.
And it's just a joyride thing.
Right, joyride thing. It was more of that. It wasn't more or less they was getting money off and nothing. They just come through. Oh, look at him in that fast car spinning it around.
Yeah, facts.
And then the police finally catch it and tow it back.
So was it like a big was it like a big charge back then? Like, or niggas wasn't getting learned yet? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it wasn't, because it was like new. So everything. In every culture, new things come on. So, how our country operate and, city governments and, state governments, it's just laws.
Yeah.
So they create laws based off of our activity of things that we doing.
Yeah.
So we doing something that they need to start addressing as a community. Like, they got a stolen car ring in the community. So now laws going to go in for stolen cars and they're going to start creating laws. So we basically give them the ability to create laws by our actions.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's deep to think about it like that because like you said, like, so it's like the first person that stole a car probably get a slap on the wrist.
Right.
Now it's like you steal a car now. Them niggas fucking give you 15 years.
Right. Because it might become a trend. It might become some epidemic. So they got to put something in place to stop that cancer from spreading. You know what I mean? So if they want to make an example of you for stealing a car and give you 20 years, stolen car could probably go down because people ain't trying to do 20 years for stolen car. Yeah. But if you getting a slap on the wrist, come right out, you're going to steal another car the next day. Yeah. And this is going to be, a repeated cycle.
Do you remember like a time that you was like, damn, that shit was because like I fuck with bullies like dogs, and I remember I went to like a Newark and somebody stole a nigga dog, stole a car while his dog's in that shit, like
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying in that to say like, do you remember like a time that like maybe like a kid was in a car, some crazy shit you could think back like, damn, that shit was fucked up. Like, somebody just hopping in the car and stealing it, and then somebody kids in the car, you know what I mean? Like anything like that ever happened? Like
Nah, nothing like that ever happened, because like back in the day when we used to be in the stolen cars and stuff, it wasn't like you ain't just jumping in nobody's car. But when carjacking is serious, you know what I'm saying? You get a lot of time for that. But I heard instances now with this new generation of, car thieves side, which is a lot of the younger guys.
Yeah.
And they don't really have no integrity and no consciousness to even understand that they jump in somebody's car and there's some kids in the back. And I'm saying if they see that, they're have in their conscious mind to pull over and get out that car.
Yeah.
And we would hope they would call the police to come get the kids to safety because stolen car thief got little brothers, sisters, families, and everything too. So we would hope that, you know what I mean, if that was to happen, then, you know what I mean, they would do the responsible thing in that situation. But that never happened with me. I
So,
never
like,
jumped in nobody's stuff.
So you saying born in 81, correct?
Yeah.
So like
81.
91, you like 10. Yeah, so how was Newark like in the 90s like for you, like growing up? Like
The 90s, it was kind of cool for me because I was young, so I was into basketball a lot.
Oh, you balled?
Yeah, so I was like, I mean, that was my goal was to make it to the NBA and
Nice.
my family out the hood, like any, you know what I mean, gotta get
So
into sports.
what changed that? Like,
Yeah, you know, it's just the challenges, man. You know, growing up in a, you know what I mean, environment where you got to navigate through a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, outside that, you know what I mean, as a kid, you don't know what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a lot of wrong stuff go on in the urban communities where we live at. You know what I mean? As a kid, you won't know, but you got to navigate through all the stuff to make it to school, to make it to the playground, because it's a negativity all over once you leave outside of that nest where your family at, and you come outside, you come into a world, cool world.
Yeah.
And I didn't come out to a suburban, beautiful community where it was mowed lawns and look, I come outside, a stolen car racing up and down the street.
Yeah.
You know, people selling drugs, fiends walking around. I got to navigate through all that as a kid.
Yeah.
Block all that out to get to the basketball court, to get to school.
So what side
play.
like Newark, like because Newark is big as hell.
Yeah.
So like what side, like what part of Newark you like was raised in, like or like
I was part of like the South, I would say South Ward, you know, Avon Avenue.
That's like
where I was born
I
and
hear about
raised
South
at.
Ward. I heard that shit's like crazy as hell.
Crazy, yeah, it's crazy.
It's so like from the 90s to now, do you see like a big change, or is like that almost like still the same shit?
No, it's a dramatic change. Sometimes when you come from the streets, me being in the streets and, you know, living that lifestyle, you know, when you go away from prison, come home, go over, stuff still look the same to you.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like the 90s, the same thing they were doing in the 90s, they doing in the 2000s.
Yeah, it's a little different.
2020. So it's a little more enlightened to us, some of us, because we conscious now and we ain't really into none of that.
Yeah.
So we see like, damn, them little niggas wilding, but we did the same thing too that they was doing, from the stolen cars to just run around doing the whole bunch of nonsense. So nothing really seemed changing to me, but just there's no structure with the youth out here. It's a generational gap.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had big homies that used to be like putting us in line. We come through the block, a stolen car. Don't bring that through. Y'all making the block hot.
Yeah.
Because they didn't steal cars. They got money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't got that now, you know, God just races through the hood and everybody just let them do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Steal cars from around their own neighborhood. Nobody checking them. Oh, what y'all doing? There's no structure for the youth in Newark now than it was back then. We had structure.
Yeah.
It was more respect. The big homies talk to the little homies respected that. Now it's just like, everybody think they the big homie. Don't want to listen to nobody. Like, who is you?
Yeah.
Tell me what to do. So that part is different now. The integrity part is different now than it was back then for me.
So, all right. So, like I said, so now you're in the 90s, growing up and whatnot. So, like, I just say like teenager, like 15. Let's just say 15. So you what would you call? Like, you was always called Tutt at 15, or that's like a middle name or something, like, or
Nah. So Tutt, my last name. So what happened is,
cool.
when me and my one of my right hand mans at school played ball together, we had the same name, Khalil.
Okay.
So the teacher was always like, to not confuse us, she'd call me Tutt.
Okay.
Him Khalil.
Okay.
So everybody just started calling me Tutt, Tutt, Tutt. But that's really my name. It's my last name.
Okay, I
And
get
then
it now.
people just started calling me Tutt, Tutt, and people started thinking it was a nickname. But it was just started from my third grade teacher, Miss Brown.
I ain't gonna hold you. I thought I'm thinking the whole time, like, damn, bro, that's dope. I'm thinking
Right.
Egypt. Like,
Egypt, right,
like, you know what I mean?
right.
King Tutt or something like that. That's what I'm thinking of the name. But that's dope. All right, so 15. So all right, so now, like, did you finish school, or like?
Yeah, so I made it to 11th grade before I dropped out, went to the streets.
11th grade. So how old you, like, was 11th grade, like, what, 16?
Yeah, like 16.
16. So you hit the street 16. Now you outside.
Yeah, I'm outside now. Once I dropped out of school, it was like, I'm back. I'm on the block now. I'm in the hood.
Yeah. So what year would you think that would be, like?
That probably was around 93, somewhere around that time. 93, 94.
So that's like when the gangs, like, was the gangs heavy? Like I said, so I'm trying to get the transition. So like the stolen car era.
Right.
Now, like, when did the gangs started trickling in the streets? Like, we started seeing it really for Newark, because like,
So in Newark?
Yeah.
So like around early 2000, late 90s, it started really like hitting us. It was over here like in 95, 96. A couple of my bros from like East Orange area was doing it with Treasure, Noise by Nature era.
Yeah.
When they came out, because they had kind of bought the gang stuff really over here from Cali. Because they was over there in Cali a lot, being around Tupac and a lot of, you know, the gang era being real hard in Cali since the 60s.
Yeah.
So Treasure and Vinny, they created a group, Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
And they was from Jersey, but they started traveling and their music started taking off. They started mixing them in with the West Coast bloods. And then they brought that kind of back over here. When they came back, to a hood up in East Orange. So they were like one of the first ones
Yeah.
talking about blood and this and that. But they didn't really get to the streets
So
yet.
they ain't really know what's going on right yet.
Like the late 90s, early 2000s when it hit us.
Okay. So you was out on the streets. You never like did no bid and nothing like that. Like in your young age, like you never.
Yeah. So when I dropped out of school, and this was one of the reasons why I kind of like got kicked out of school because I was hanging in the hood here and there, skipping school sometime, going to the block, chilling with the bros, just curious about what's going on. I see they out there doing their thing, getting money. I wasn't doing nothing. Everybody knew I played ball, but I wanted to be cool down with the street dudes, then still go to school, and it wasn't working for me. And I got locked up. Going to the block for a gun. And
what's your first gun charge you catching?
First gun charge. I was in a car with somebody who had a gun in there, and you know he was a juvenile. He made me take the weight for the gun to try to like, you know what I mean. So he won't go back to prison. And he like, yo, you're a juvenile, they'll let you off. And you know what I mean? So I just trying to do it, be a good friend, because I came out the house with those type of, you know what I mean, principles, you know what I mean, directed it to me from my family. Love, respect each other. Like, so I brought that family structure out here to the streets.
But you say that was like a code that you kind of had, that was put into you.
It was already embedded in me. So I'm coming as a real person, but I'm bringing real energy and realness around people in the streets when there's not a lot of real energy in the streets like that.
That's matching.
Right.
So you got a person that's like, yo, take this charge so I won't go back. But it's like, but I really fucking, that charge really about to fuck your life up forever.
And then you really, you know what I mean, put me in a position, but you probably know at that time, you probably kind of know, oh, you didn't care? Because it probably was like a selfish decision on your end. Like, I'm going to protect myself. You take this and you be good, you know what I mean? So that was my first charge I caught. Went to the youth house. My mother signed me out.
So you didn't do like a bid or nothing?
I didn't get to do a bid because my first charge as a juvenile, so they gave me like a smack on the wrist. I was trying to get out the precinct, but they wouldn't let me go out the precinct. It was like a Friday, early morning. I got caught up, and then they sent me to the youth house for the weekend. So that was my first time experiencing jail. I never seen jail, youth house, or nothing. So that was like a different experience for me.
Was it like, so like I said, so when you got to youth house, like you young and all that, so it wasn't no gang, still like no gang presence, haven't even had. It's just like little cliques and little groups and shit. Right.
Ain't none of that happened yet. You know, it was just.
So when did you see that happen? Like, so when did you see that shit like happen? Like, and you like, damn, like when it first like hit the area for you, and like did everybody just straight like trickle down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did everybody just got with it, or you was like, you just like, you know what I mean, just was brought to it like from family or something like that?
Nah, so it's crazy how it kind of started for us, because we was out at this club. And my big homie, the Duke, man. Shout out to the Duke, man. Free the Duke, man. That's like the foundation. He founded, you know, the gang stuff for us out here, you know what I mean, in Newark, you know what I mean? And even with our hood, like he was the first blood to bring it to us. And then we all turned blood under him because we already was following his lead. Before the gang stuff, we already had a crew. So we went out to a club one night, and I think Ja Rule was performing. They had brought him to a club in Irvington. So you know, whenever you bring artists around that got a big name, you're gonna bring the city out, you're gonna bring everybody out. So it was a packed club, we all in there. And we went up there with our crew and got into it with some dudes in there that was saying they was Bloods. Now these was the dudes that was from the area I told you about. This when we first encountered any energy with blood that nagged the club. And they was in there deep itself throwing signs up, you know what I mean? You know, we busting their guns up. I'm like, who these niggas? I'm saying, we knew that from California. We ain't know it from being over here. So now if they doing this in the club, we in here deep with our niggas, mad people deep. It's like ego was playing, like they ain't coming in here and just, you know what I mean, saying that. So my man, the Duke, who I told you about, like my big homie, challenged them niggas like, yo, what y'all doing, bro? Like, we ain't on no gang stuff over here. Like, try to like calm them down. They like, what? Who is you? And then boom, we got into it with them. And then one thing led to another. We led outside. No punches were swung in the club. Everybody got outside after that.
Got real.
And then, you know what I mean, when niggas start getting, you know, going back for outside, a gun came out. Niggas just start taking off running. Nobody shot though. Somebody pulled the gun out on them, and they just ran to their car. Everybody ran. And when they got their guns, then boom, it was a whole other situation after that. It was crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. So you think the rap like kind of brought that shit over here, the music,
the hip hop culture, because you know at that time Ja Rule.
What year was that? What year was that? You think? What year was that? You think?
That was 95. That happened. Like
95.
Yeah.
And you like then like 18.
Yeah, I was outside.
So you spoke of Duke. Like, so is he from Newark or he from somewhere else?
Yeah, Duke. He from Newark. He was born and raised in Newark. You know, that's like the first person that introduced me to the streets. You know what I mean? That was like my, you know what I mean, like my big brother. You know what I mean? That as far as like, introduced me to that whole other side of life.
Yeah.
Because he had that whole other side of life going on for him. He was like a big time dude back in the day, get money.
Yeah.
Them all nice cars, had the block moving.
So he much older than you?
He much older than me, by about 10 years.
Okay.
10 years older. So, I started hanging up under him, and me and him got cool from the basketball court. I used to be out there playing ball.
Okay.
And he seen how good I was, so I always getting picked with the older guys to play with them.
Yeah.
And they had their little rivalries going on, like up the hill versus down here, and they picked me.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we got Tutt with us.
Yeah.
Now like they secret weapon, like
Yeah.
man, putting up them numbers for him. Then me and
Nice.
him got tight after that. And after the games, we go chill on the block. And that's how I got introduced to the block stuff. But I didn't know what them niggas was into.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they just some regular bros from the hood
Yeah.
playing ball in the playground, but they was like the drug dealers from the hood with their little rivalry games.
So what
And I got in there.
so what attracted you to Be a Blood? Like at that time was because you said it's from Cali. Like Cali, my favorite movie is Colors. You feel me? Like, that was like one of my first favorite movies. You know what I'm saying? They had the Crips, they had the Bloods, but that was on the Cali shit. So what attracted you to be like? Or was that because that was only around? Like
To be a
that's
blood.
like where you it was no Crips around at that time or
Nah, so what attracted us to Be a Blood, going back to the story about what happened at the club.
Okay.
We got into it with them niggas, but we felt like that was some gangster type time right there. Like,
Yeah.
it was gangster. We was already like we was gangsters, they was gangsters.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? They ain't back down for us, we ain't back down for them. So they came and hollered at us the next day. You know what I mean? Because one of the dudes that was with them was one of our bros. He used to be with us too, but he just started being in the area where they was at, and we didn't even know he turned blood, but he was blood.
Yeah.
So he like, yo, we need y'all to get with us, bro. We forming this brotherhood. Maybe we could do this, we could do that, we could take over the hood, we can move it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how niggas
Yeah.
talk, everybody coming together.
Yeah.
So they needed us to make them stronger, and then just as much as we needed them to make us stronger.
so y'all all became under one set or it was like
Nah, we had came on. It was when they came to us, they had 3 sets they already was repping. So we didn't want to fall under them. So we wanted our own set to fall up under the day and a half over here.
Yeah.
So that's when we turned 9-3.
Okay.
I mean, so 9-3 wasn't like really like prevalent. You had like Double I, G-Shine, Sex and Money Murder. All of them was like established. But
Yeah.
9-3 wasn't really in Newark like that. So we wanted to be like one of the first 9-3 niggas to,
Okay.
you know what I mean, get that popping. You know what I mean?
Okay. So that happened after that happened like in 95 or
Yeah, that was like 95. 95.
Okay. And
So that was like around that era, like 95 is when all that just started. So you want to see the blood era kind of started for us, we can see like 95.
Okay.
It was introduced to us
Okay.
from that altercation with them.
so at that time it wasn't like no like Crips on the East Coast like that or like in Newark or it was real quiet.
Yeah, it was real quiet. We really didn't even know. It was a few of them around.
But it was quiet as hell. Like real.
It was quiet. It was quiet. You know what I mean? But they started forming too. And then when they started forming, that's when, the issue became for us because we was against them
Yeah.
from the history that came to us is what we supposed to be against. You know what I mean? But as we get further into this interview, you're going to realize all that history was wrong that we had got.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother, you know what I mean?
All right, cool. We're gonna get to that. So what's like the initiation process? Like for you to like you as your age, what was your initiation? Or you just basically was just around and you were just you didn't have to go through initiation process.
Nah, no, man. Everybody got to go through initiation process back then because that's what make it official.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We dealt back then off of like, you had to have your oath, prayer, your pledge, paperwork you had to learn and read.
Okay.
You had to come in and you had to get, 5, you had to get 31 seconds. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like we put 3 or 4 homies on you and you'll bang out with you for 31 seconds, see if you can hold up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can kick up and you ain't just curling up and balling up.
So if a nigga curl up and you
ain't passed the test, you ain't come home.
Start over, you gotta
Yeah, you got to start over, but if you can't get through your 31 seconds, then you can't be blood.
period.
Because you got to be able to, you might end up around some Crips and somewhere get locked up and they want to jump on you, got to be able to kick. You know what I mean? And see, you know what I mean? So you could be able to, because that's how you got gain respect back in the day. It was more fighting than it was a lot of shooting.
Okay.
It was like, if you could fight, you was respected. You know what I mean? But, when it started coming to guns, they don't care you can fight now.
Yeah.
The gun gonna stop all that.
Did you ever see some shit like nigga kick, like say if you throw 3 niggas and nigga beat the 3 niggas, like you be like, what the
Word,
fuck?
yeah, you got niggas like that?
Niggas
You got a couple of dudes like that that's like, they can fight, so they knocked all 3 of them niggas out.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like that dude, hold on, time out. You throw 3 different other motherfuckers in.
Right.
That's just how
Right.
You think like I got these 3 niggas about to fuck this nigga up, but they fuck my all 3 niggas
Right,
up.
exactly. And you got some dudes that was like that, you know what I mean? Like, you got some of our bros that's like fighters like that, like my bro Buddha. You know what I mean? He one of the other big homies in the hood. He a fighter. He knock niggas out. Like, you can't send 3 niggas that he gonna knock all of them out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? You got some ones that's like that. You know what I mean? But you gonna get respected. He don't gotta go through no rounds. We already know he can knock 3 people out. So you already in.
So how about this then? On a different note, how about the niggas that about to go against the one nigga, like knowingly, like you know what I'm saying? Like the 3 niggas about to fight the one. and knowingly they can't even fuck with the one person. Like, you know what I mean? They kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say if they get knocked out, you be like, damn, now you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn.
Nah,
like,
it be like that.
It's
so
crazy.
you had to get knocked out, bro. Your number got called.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is we'll try to get people that all can fight to get in there. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get the fighters so you won't be just knocking everybody out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make it tougher.
Right, make it a little tough for them. That's just the initiation process. And that process happens when, you know, people do violations too. You get a discipline. Okay. Structure and discipline is everything. We had that back in place too, and that's when we had more control of our homies opposed to now. We don't have a lot of that in place no more. So it's like a little bit different.
What do you mean by the process of that? Like the discipline part? Like,
yeah, discipline. Like if you did something wrong or violation, we had rules and regulations that we, you know what I mean, put forth 31 rules. You know what I mean? We had different rules of code of conduct, character that we pushed to the homies. So it was like real organized, and it was definitely organized, but for the wrong reasons though. Yeah. And I mean, and that's what we're trying to do now with the new direction. Trying to get it organized for the right reason. But it was definitely more structure and organizational ways that we was going about doing things. So disciplines was, you know, it was not for like if you had a situation with your baby mother or something, y'all got physical and she told us, oh, he hit me. We're going to call the police. We're going to discipline him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring him in. We're going to put him in a circle. You know what I mean? For hitting a female because we don't tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? So we had stuff in play.
That's respect.
It kept everything and kept our thing in order. And we lost that.
That shit kind of fucked everything up.
You got chaos going on. You know what I'm saying?
So is you think that it's going to be hard to kind of get that structure back?
Nah, I don't think it's going to be hard to get it back if all of the big homies is on the same page. Okay. So you got the big homies that have significant influence. Like I might have some significant influence. Buddha might have some significant influence. Duke might have significant influence. EDR might have significant influence. All the big homies from the Killer Reeks to all of these big homies, they got significant influence, but they all come together and say, this is the structure, this is the order. That's how it went before. Okay. Everybody's on the same page, and there was no confusion about what the rules was and what the consequences was. Okay. So everybody got back to that and holding our people accountable. Yeah, we can get that back. I can't just be the one doing it because nigga, ain't nobody putting their hands on me. And you know what I'm saying? If I get some dudes to jump on somebody for doing something wrong, they might feel some type of way, want to go get a gun. So you never know how they. So if you do that,
because it never happened before. So they
right. But if you do that, you still going against blood conduct. Because blood is a brotherhood, and there's nothing. And that's why I wanted to speak about too about for the far as the gangs. And we talked about this before. There's nothing illegal about being in the gang. Yeah. It's the legal activities that you do within the confines of this game. Okay. That's the RICO, that's the racketeering, which I caught cases like that, and I had to beat cases like that before. So I know the education of it based off of my experiences of being in the gang life. Okay. I mean, coming from, we talking about 95 to now 2023. Yeah. We've been through almost 30 years of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying like basically like, because like you said, because like you can be part of this. This is a brotherhood.
Yeah, you can be part of it. It's a brotherhood.
So you can't get in trouble for being in a brotherhood. Right. But it's about what you actually doing.
Do within the brotherhood. Yeah. So this is what we doing. Fast forward the new direction now. Okay. Like I'm a blood, but I'm a positive blood. I'm gonna be the best blood I can be. Yeah. So nobody told us that we have to be negative, that we can't create a positive movement. Yeah. None of my big homies never told me that. It's none of the rules of being blood. I know all the history on blood. I read all the rules. Nothing never said you can't help your community. Yeah. Nothing never said you can't talk to the kids at school. Nothing you can't say you shouldn't rat on your brother and not put him in jail or hate to save his life. Yeah. I mean, so all we doing with New Direction is just banging
in a positive way. A positive way.
The right way, a righteous way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Based off of our negative experiences. Yeah. We turned it into a positive.
Nice. So all right, so you 18, you out of school. So what's Tutt like? What you see yourself like at 18? If you can remember back, like what you see your vision like? You was on some straight Killer Blood type shit. Like you was like, cause I know like I said, I watched it on movies and see how real that shit was. You know what I'm saying? So like, what type of time you was on? Like you was like
So like once I got locked up the first time I went through that youth house. Yeah, I think that kind of changed my whole direction in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I still was like going to school. I still was playing ball, going to the house at a certain time. And then when I went to the youth house and I survived that little 3 days I was in, and they had put me in the guerrilla unit, which was like all the way in the back, where they got all like the big young boys. Yeah. You know what I mean? They always be fighting, they wild back there, and I was tall, so they felt like I needed to be back there with them. Yeah. But I wasn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still in school playing ball. I wasn't no street stuff. I didn't want to think about harming nobody. But when I went in there, it changed my mentality when I got out of there because I survived it. And when I went in, I seen a couple dudes I knew. And they like, bro, what up, homie? And niggas had love for me. And I was just chilling. Niggas give me snacks and we cooling. And then I had to go. They was in there for like a bunch of serious charges. They put all the ones with the serious charges and they called it the guerrilla unit, the back unit. And they had like, shootings, gun charges. These were some wild little dudes already outside. And I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
But when I went in there, I kind of like became one of them when I left it because I survived it and all my dudes came to pick me up the next day. When I got home, my mother brought me home. They pulled up all these nice cars. Like, yo, you home now, bro?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you did that for bro. Because that was bro who I did that for. I took a charge for my big homie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And made sure he ain't go to jail. So that was honorable to all the bros.
Yeah.
Like, man, and then you came home, stood up, you ain't tell or nothing. I told the police it was mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's mine. He had nothing to do with it. They knew it was his because they wanted him, but they couldn't do nothing if I'm taking it away.
Yeah.
So that gave me credibility and like status amongst them. And then that was my birth into the streets after that. You know what I'm saying?
So you came. So when you just like when you think what year we came home like blood and shit? What year was it?
2000.
2000.
Like 2000.
Yeah. So you turned up. That's Tutt turned up outside.
Turned up. Yeah, I wanted to be the baddest, biggest blood I could be, but because like when you come into the gangs life, it's a whole different mentality.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking I'm a gangster now. I got the flag on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm rapping. I see what they doing in California. They about to know about us on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We about to start, you know what I mean, putting on, looking for any crip I can find, make an example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Show the homies like I'm here. You know what I mean? I was one of them like, took that blood stuff serious.
Like,
Once I come into something, we're going to do it the right way. This is what we're going to do. I was ready to die for that flag. You know what I mean? That was in my heart.
Yeah. So like I said, so now in 2000 now, like you said, so it's gang violence is real now.
I'm outside, 2000, gang violence on, caught my first shooting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went to jail for it, and this is another thing that happened. So, you know, once I turned gang now, I'm a gangster.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for somebody to test my gangster, because I gotta, you know what I mean, prove.
Yeah.
Like, I'm holding this flag up, I'm with a flag around my neck. I was like repping it, I was looking like a blood. And everybody looking at me like, what's that crazy? But I just was feeling the movement.
Yeah.
And I had got into it with some old head dudes. You know, we playing with some paintball guns on the block one day.
Yeah.
And all the homies was out there. We was out there chilling. And the guys was riding by. And we was shooting the paintballs at like some fiends just playing around with the gun.
Yeah.
And one of the pings, one of the balls hit somebody's car riding by. And they stopped, jumped out, like trying to run down on us. Like we was some little niggas. They was older.
Yeah.
They like, yo, what y'all doing? Y'all threw a rocket at my car. I'm like, nah, ain't nobody threw no rocket at your car. So my man was arguing back and forth with him. And I just dipped off, grabbed the strap, and came back. And just boom, went at them niggas. And then
they was just regular street niggas or just some.
They turned Crips after we did that song. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like Buzz around that time.
Yeah.
So that went down. They got low. They told the police on me. Police came and locked me up.
Yeah.
I was on trial. I had to go to trial as a juvenile for like 4 attempted murder charges. They charged me with. None of them got hit. I couldn't even fire. The gun was so strong. It was shooting all over the place.
What kind of gun was
I was wild. It was a 40 caliber.
Okay.
It was a 40 caliber, and that was my first time ever shooting a gun in my life.
Yeah.
And I just grabbed it off of somebody who had it on their hip in the hallway. I'm like, well, give me that gun. And then I was waiting to do something to show my homies I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just had that type of mentality, man. And that joint almost cost me the rest of my, you know what I mean, juvenile. Cause I was 16 when that happened.
Okay.
I was 16
a little earlier.
Yeah, it was a little earlier. I was 16 when that happened. And I went to the youth foundation. They were about to send me down to January for 2 years for that. But the guys came to court and said it wasn't me. And the charges got dropped on me. And then I had they let me go back home. And I felt invincible again. So I just got a smack on the wrist at the shoe. So now nobody can tell me nothing. I come on this time.
So then because they know you bust your gun now.
Right.
They say you solid because you roll your so now it's like more like your strength of who you is. It's like getting more stronger. Like you know what I'm saying?
I became the enforcer. I became the Duke, my big homie.
Yeah.
His enforcer. Cause he's not like that. My little nigga go off. So now I was like, let me keep this little nigga with me now all the time. Cause he know I was ready to go. But I just had that passion for my brothers that I bought from my household, because you gotta love, respect your brothers, take care of each other. My mother and father instilled that in me from the household, from my whole family, instilled that in me. So, I took that to the streets.
Yeah.
And it got used against me. You know what I'm saying? Because they used it for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So so now you beat that. Now you back out. So you still on some like wild shit, like wild crazy shit, or you just like kind of calm down type.
It got wilder, bro.
It got wilder.
It got wilder, bro. I mean, like, you gotta look at it like this. I mean, that's why I can understand a lot of the young homies out there, what they going through, like the young, wildest little homies. I could connect with them.
Yeah.
They drop me off in the Lions, then where they at? I'm gonna come out leading them little niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was dumb.
Yeah.
And when I got a taste of the streets, I got a taste of shooting a gun, I got a taste of going to jail and not having to worry about no fights and nothing. I'm known. People know me because I just had a popularity about me even growing up.
Yeah.
High school, I was known for playing ball. I was known.
Yeah.
So when I became blood, I became known in that field too. You know what I mean? And Bob was getting known for doing the wrong thing. A lot of people remember me like, damn, Tutt used to be like that.
Yeah.
Something just like clicked in me, it turned me out when I got a taste of this, where it was like, I ain't that person no more. A mental shift. You know what I'm saying? It was like something that changed inside of me. And it just had me out here just wanting to be like, you know what I mean, the biggest gang member around type. You know what I mean?
So did you ever been to Cali? When like at this time,
we never went over
You never
there.
went to Cali. Never seen like how the Cali gang life was.
We never went over there.
Have you been there like recently? Like been?
Yeah, I went over there since I've been home, since I came home from doing my time.
So did you ever like get in tune with how they do it over there? Like to see the difference, the culture?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I got in tune with a couple boys from over there.
It's way different.
It's way different. It's more of a family structure over there. Like you get born into it over there. Like if this block called Slauson, everybody on the block is like, so the grandmother got a flag on, like, you know what I mean? The little baby running around, he was born into it. It's like more of a family-oriented thing over there. More out here, it's like more of a bunch of clicks clicking up to go at another click. You know what I'm saying?
And more like, so like, because like you said, 9/3 happened, and that was a Newark thing or like a whole universal thing on the East Coast. Because like you said with Cali, like Slauson, like you said, like was only people from Newark could be allowed into it, and then people just started getting attached to it, or
nah. So it was going on in New York. I mean, New York started it first, like 1993.
Okay.
They started on Rikers Island, and blood started being over in New York before it was being over in Newark.
Okay.
So New York was doing stuff. This is how you get some of the other dudes from other towns, like Patterson. They closer to New York. Some of them came up under that New York line.
Okay.
I mean, we came up and we kind of came up under the New York line too, but we kind of created our own line up in Jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And cause we ain't gonna follow nobody from New York. We don't know them niggas like that. You know what I mean? They ain't over here.
Yeah,
I mean, so we kind of like created our own wave in Newark.
But it's all tied together.
It's all tied together because all of it kind of started in New York.
Okay, I get you.
Technically, and it just trickled over to Jersey, and it finally met us in our hood.
Okay.
Like the late 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand, because I'm thinking like you were saying about the street, like I thought it maybe like if you only from Newark on the South Ward, you was only down with 9. You know what I'm saying? But you saying it wasn't like that. So it's more or less like everybody on the like from different areas, because like it's other states in like that's banging the same set, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's other states that bang the same hood. You know what I mean? But
so do you get it tied? Like, do you go out of the state? Like, I know you're doing your new direction thing. Do you go like maybe like say if it's 9/3 and or you it's not just 9/3 thing, or it's like whatever, like gang culture, just trying to shift it in general.
Yeah, so like what was working out for us was so good as working out for us is when I came home, and I came home 2019. I came home from doing that 14 years in prison for the case that we didn't even get in talk about yet, but we'll talk about it. But me starting new direction was basically me starting some energy and some momentum, a foundation within the gang culture. Okay. Because I'm a gang member. Okay. I mean, I got status. I mean, I got notoriety, influence. So if I'm coming home with a plan, I mean, the plan was to push all my homies in a better direction, because as one of the members and I gained leadership within that foundation, I think I should have a say-so on how we need to be moving. Yeah. And this picture to the big homies. Yeah. Like, yo, look, bro, we should be doing this, boom, boom, boom. And all the big homies always preaching. Like, oh, you always preach, you TD Jakes and you like Mark Max. Like, they used to climb me like that when we was in jail. Yeah. And we do like gelling all the time. And but I always was just thinking different than everybody. Like,
but did you had a lot of pullback on that shit? Like a lot of motherfuckers wasn't really fucking with it.
Nah, right, without question. You always everybody afraid to change. You know what I mean? So if I knew if dudes wasn't changing with me, I was gonna change without them. Yeah. So I'm gonna give them an opportunity to be a part of change and part of growth. So I put a plan together and a vision together that God inspired into me. Say, you know what? We got influence this game. So what if we were doing it like this? We can be real powerful. Yeah. Or what if we been doing like that? You know what I mean? Then I had some Black Panthers and some BLA dudes who I was in prison with, because when I went down, remember I was telling you about the situation, how everything went when I went down. Yeah. And they put me in that isolation down in Trenton and had me in a management control unit, and they put all the worst prisoners in these units that can't go to general population, either for political reasons or whatever. They just don't fall in line with structure and order, because it's structure and order in prison. They got rules, regulations, everything. When you first get introduced to prison, they're gonna break all the rules down to you. Either you're gonna comply or you're gonna go to the box. Yeah. And a lot of people
let's get to that then. So let's start from so when you say you did 14 or 17 years? How many?
Yeah, I did 14 joints.
So when did this, like, what was the situation to lead up to that?
Yeah, so like back when we were talking about, all right, so we started taking off the gang, so like the gang started taking off now. Yeah. Now we growing, we creating numbers. You know what I mean? I'm putting on out there, putting work in. So now, like I said, I became my bro, the dude, enforcer on the streets basically. Yeah. And he was the big bro. So in 99, he lost trial on a homicide that he was charged with.
Okay.
They put a case on him. He was fighting it. He had bailed out. And then, when the trial started, he lost trial. So when he lost trial, he went down Trenton for 30 years. They sent him 30 years.
Okay.
So when he got down, he reached back to the streets. Now at that time, I'm out still in the streets, still running around. When he got locked up, I got to step up now in my area to make sure, I got everything in order. I'm him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't here.
Yeah.
And I'm directly tied to him because this is the person that introduced me to the street.
Yeah.
So if he over here in our area and he was our big dog, makes things happen, who gonna be next up?
Yeah.
Me. You know what I'm saying? I got to step up and be that for the foundation that we created over there in that area that we was in.
Yeah.
So he was calling back and forth from prison, hollering at me on 3 with this girl, whatever. Yo, what's good, bro? Let me know the direction, what we doing. At this time, I'm still young, under him following the rules. You know how I go. You follow rules and regulations from the big bro.
Yeah.
So as we, conducting what we conducting through the phones and he telling me this and that, they was listening. They was monitoring our calls.
Yeah.
So I guess the jail got this system set in place where if you're a known gang member, monitor every call that come out from him. We got to listen to his calls because he might be orchestrating something, whatever. They was investigating us. And we didn't even know that they was investigating. They had created a gang unit and everything for it because there was stuff happening.
Yeah.
Shootings happening. Oh, this guy got locked up for this shooting. Oh, he got locked up for this gun. So all this stuff is building up, making us hot and building up cases on us.
Yeah.
And they started watching us, investigating us. So they smacked us with a RICO case. And we ain't never heard of RICO. We heard like John Gotti and them got caught with that RICO back in the day, the mob and all that. So they smacked us with a RICO case and, sealed the indictment that charged us with like running a continuing ongoing criminal enterprise with 5 or more people agree to something. They say that's an organization, used for negative purposes.
Yeah.
And they charged us with it. So when they charged us with that charge, that was kind of like a game changer for us because now we knew these gangs that we was in was serious. And they label us these type of people.
And they ain't playing.
They ain't playing. But sometimes that can affect you negatively or positively. And us, it ain't affect us positively, it affect us negatively. Because now they start saying we were some animals and we believed it. And we start acting like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, boom, it gave us more credibility in the newspapers that, these big gang members, they do this. So now that just put us at the height of the gang culture. Like, these the niggas right here. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I beat the case.
Okay.
And came home again. So now that's my 3rd case I beat.
Yeah.
That I got caught up in where I was facing a whole bunch of time.
Yeah.
And I came home. But my bro, they didn't beat the case. They took deals, copped out, and had to go down and do their time because they was already down on other sentences.
Yeah.
So I was able to get back home to the streets. So now I'm coming back to the streets. The only one from my generation that got caught up in the RICO case, with the game is ain't rat on nobody, held it up, strong, came home. Now I'm the man now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everybody looking like, damn, bro, beating all these joints like he invincible. And I felt invisible. So I'm going right back outside. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to what happened at the school with the situation with I went down and did all that time for.
Okay.
And
what year was that that RICO case?
RICO charged like 2000, 2001, but it was on. We had it over our head for like 4 years before they actually took it to trial. They took my case to trial once I caught the situation at the school.
Okay.
With the police officer and all that stuff getting shot.
Okay.
And so
what year was that? So let's fast forward to that situation. So
what situation?
With the school, how that?
So the school situation started with like that area that the school was at. That area that I was telling you that we was from, that my bro and it was running, we all was running.
That's like Southward still, right?
Right, Southward. It was right there in the dead smack of our hood.
Okay.
Where all my homies be.
What street is that? Like what area?
Chancellor, Lyons Avenue.
Oh, that's like that shit run Lyons Avenue run down there.
Right. So all over there.
Is that like by Weeway Park and shit?
Not a little bit up.
But it's like over there almost kind of, right?
It's in the Weeway section.
Okay, cool.
All that's Weeway section. Weeway Park, Chancellor, and Weeway High School was where my case happened at.
Okay.
With the police officer being, shot and killed out there, and my involvement in it was through my little sister fighting outside the school. And I came out there to try to make sure she was good. But, at the time we moving with a movement. We got a bunch of homies with it. This our area.
Yeah.
So if I pull up big bro right here, everybody pulling up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Making sure, I'm good. So I kind of pulled up at the school like that with a bunch of niggas. But I didn't pull up with them at first. But they just heard we was around there.
Yeah.
And that's our hood. So word traveled the hood. Niggas pulling up. Yo, blowing around what's going on.
So your sister was fighting?
She was fighting another girl with a boy at a school.
Okay.
And I had got the word that she was fighting and went down to the school to get her, make sure she was good. Taking out, like, what y'all fighting somebody for? Big brother duties. You know what I'm saying? Make sure little sis good.
Yeah.
And when I came out there, it was a lot going on. It was a bunch of different little fights. Parents out there. It was chaos. So everybody just going back and forth trying to find out. I'm trying to look for my little sister. Now, I pulled up with a bunch of dudes, and I ain't even pull up with them niggas, but they just came as I'm pulling up. Niggas coming through like, yo, bro, about to go down to school, check on the sister. You know what I mean? And everybody jumped in their car and gripped up, came down there. You know what I'm saying? You know I been in the hood.
Yeah.
And the police got called because like, yo, some gang members out here checking on these sisters, so they called 2 police officers that was working inside the school doing security in there.
Yeah.
And to come outside to check on us. When they came to check on us, they hollered at me like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, what y'all doing out here? I'm like, I'm trying to find out what's up with my sister. And then I just spent off on them because I didn't want to talk to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to, like, you know what I mean, the teachers or whoever work here.
Yeah.
But I ain't want to, like, you know what I mean, when they been because the way they came a little aggressive. Like, yo, what y'all? I'm like, what you mean what we doing? You know what I mean? I'm trying to see what's up with my sister. And me and one of them got into it.
Yeah.
And when me and him got into it, I ain't had nothing on me at the time. But, you know what I mean? I got mad niggas with me with it on them.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to him, and he like, yo, and they try to lock me up. Like, yo, who you talking about? Put your hands up. I put my hands up for what? I ain't no student. I ain't getting arrested.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm putting my hands up for? And then you ain't have no license registration. Now my car double parked. I'm right here. So I just dismissed him in front of everybody. He felt disrespected.
Yeah.
And grabbed me up and threw me up against the wall.
It was on.
Tried to cut me. Now he grabbed me up. Now we start tussling. My man's I'm trying to get involved. He like, yo, back up, boom, boom. And one thing led to another, shots go off.
Yeah.
I mean, he get killed. I got shot. Everybody splattered. And I get caught at the scene. You know what I mean?
So that's crazy. So you never even got attacked, even find out where your sister was at.
Never even got to see it. Man, it was crazy about it because when the shots went off and everybody started splatting, everybody started running, and I tried to run, you know what I mean? Because I got hit too, and I fell like a half a block away from the school. I was trying to get to the corner.
Yeah.
And I just see my sister come out of nowhere. She must have heard.
You're like, what the hell? Like that shit probably was crazy.
Like a movie or something. She like, oh, my brother. And then she was just all over me like, what happened? She was inside the school, so I guess they got the call. Shots fired outside the school, and somebody told her, and she knew it was her brother was out there, and she just ran for cover and came and grabbed me. And that's when the first time I seen him that day.
That's the first time you got shot before?
Yeah, first time I got shot.
First time I got shot. So now you get shot. So now what, they lock you up right then and there? Or
yeah, they locked me up. You know, they call, once the officer down, all squad cars come from all over. The whole force there. Probably every force connected to the city was up in there. State troop, everything, helicopters. I couldn't go nowhere. I was on the ground. They had me all surrounded with guns. Everybody else kind of got away that was with me. They all left me there to fight everything on my own.
Yeah.
And they brought the ambulance, got me in the ambulance. A bunch of cops jumped in the back of the ambulance. They followed us to the hospital. They just going all off on me like, oh, what a one I got, what a one I got. They trying to like, where them guys that was with you? I'm just like, yo, get them away from me. They trying to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm big at letting the ambulance people trying to keep them away, but they got an officer down, so they ain't beat. They trying to find everybody involved.
Yeah.
So they all on me. I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Cause I'm already mad at y'all for shooting me. I ain't had no gun on me.
Yeah.
So it's war now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just crazy. They got me to UMD. I get there, there's mad cops in there. They rush me in the hospital. Then I'm screaming, kicking and screaming, like, yo, keep the police away from him, telling the doctors. They telling the police back up, we gotta treat him because we don't know what's going on. They trying to find suspects. I don't want to hear none of that, man. Like, get away from me. Like, get the police away from me. I'm going there, so they just sedated me. I was kicking and screaming so much, they just sedated me. And I woke up in recovery.
Yeah. So that's when you said they had transferred you straight to
UMD hospital. They transferred all of us. It was 3 gunshot victims. The officer, one got shot in the back of the head and one got shot in the hand. Damn. And I got shot twice in the stomach and once in my wrist. So they transferred all to UMD. Everybody UMD.
So it was like a shootout type shit, or it was like
it was like a bang out. I mean, one of them niggas pulled out that was with me. Let go, they pulled out, and it was boom. It was crazy. Broad daylight.
Broad daylight. That shit
30-something witnesses out here. Everybody outside. Them niggas overreacted. Yeah. But it was my fault because I shouldn't even brought them niggas out there. I was in control of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they were just trying to defend me.
And you're the only one out of like the bloods, like out of your set, just got shot. Nobody else, like no other, like
none of them got shot. I was the only one got shot. Everybody
and then
got
2 other cops, you're saying?
And 2 other cops.
Damn. So now
and they blaming it on me. They saying I shot the niggas.
But you the one that got shot too, though.
I got shot too. I ain't had nothing on me.
So now you get locked up now. So that's how did that process happen? Like what you know what I mean? What was the process like? So you get handcuffed, they got you in the infirmary type shit inside the hospital, or they sent you straight to the county jail or some shit?
Now they had me in a hospital infirmary, but they just had a lot of security around. A bunch of police.
Yeah.
Guard me, you know what I mean? They had the big, machine gun. They had the high risk unit out there because they know a cop got killed. You know what I mean? It was just big. I didn't know he got shot until I woke up in recovery and they told me I was charged with murder. The police officer, I said, who got murdered? I ain't know nobody. Everything happened fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they told me I was charged with murder and I took the murder of the police officer, I thought I was dreaming. I'm like, yo, this gotta be like a nightmare or something. You know what I'm saying? And then the judge came with the stenographer, came in the hospital bed. They arraigned me, gave me $2 million cash bail. And they said, you want to sign out the hospital and we'll put you in the infirmary. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna sign out because I'm thinking I could go get a bail and get home. But he said he gave me a $2 million cash bail. I knew I wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's over.
So I had to sign out the hospital against doctor's orders because I wasn't ready. But I just was trying to get somewhere where I could get a lawyer and I wanted to get home to the family.
So after that, you say you signed out. What you mean by that? Like you went?
Yeah, I signed out. Said, how can you know you got to sign your release papers from the hospital?
Okay.
And they didn't want me to go because I still had like tubes coming out my joint, everything all about me. I got hit in the stomach. My stomach was zipped open. I had this. I was all broken up, so they had to put a rod in here. So I was just jacked all up. I was all messed up. And
So when did they send you down to prison? Like not prison, like they did county jail and shit yet? You didn't go there yet?
Yeah, well, when once the judge came to the hospital and arraigned me because I wasn't in physical condition to go to courtroom.
Yeah.
But I was in physical condition to go to jail. But I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, that's
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying. So they brought the judge the courtroom to me.
That's crazy.
In the hospital. You know what I mean? And they arraigned me because they didn't know. They thought I was going to stay in the hospital for like a month or 2 months because you got to charge within 24 hours, 48 hours. So they couldn't get me to no precinct. They couldn't get me to no courtroom because I'm shot up.
Yeah.
So they had to bring the court to me.
Yeah.
So when they brought the court to me, he arraigned me and charged me with murder, an attempted murder, and gave me a $2 million cash bail.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going nowhere.
Nowhere. So now you go. That's what I'm saying. So now you go down to the county jail. Now you down in county jail now.
Yeah. So I signed out to get out that hospital because I was tired of being in there. I was in there for about 3-4 days. Get to the county jail. When I get to the county jail, you know, they bring the squad to get me from out the hospital, put me in a wheelchair, wheel me out of there. Nice and, professionally. Like, they got me with all the guards around with the guns. And when I got out of sight of everybody, they just threw me inside the back of the cop car, face first out the wheelchair. No seats back there. You know what I'm saying?
Hard ass fucking seat.
Word. So they just threw me in the back of there, man. Like I hit my shoulder, messed my shoulder up, everything. And they just took me to the county jail. When I got to the county jail, they got me out the back of the county jail. Then they had the cameras there. Internal affairs. Okay. So the treatment I was getting from the hospital to the county was bad treatment.
Yeah.
I mean, they was roughing me up, basically got me in back where, every time they turn, I'm hitting this way, boom. And I'm shot up, mind you. I'm cuffed up.
They even got you laying on a stretcher or nothing.
Nothing, bro. I'm in there messed up. They made me suffer for that ride from the UMD to the Essex County Jail. Yeah. I felt it. It was part of bringing out my psychology, and the officer got killed, so they're not giving me no fair treatment. Yeah. You know what I mean? They hope I died that day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So imagine you in the fines of all the enemy. Yeah. All these people just want to hurt you and kill you.
And you handcuffed
Ain't nothing I can do. I'm handcuffed.
And you handcuffed.
Nothing I can do, bro.
That should sound crazy.
So they got me to the county. When they got me to the county, they had the IA there waiting for with the camera. So now the treatment got to be a little better because now it's video. Yeah. And IA ain't gonna let you bring nobody in here all beat up and blame it on them. And I could just sue the county. Yeah. So whatever Newark was doing to me, they got what they got off on me. Yeah. And then I got in there, but I ain't suing nothing. It coming terrorism. I know it was war. Yeah. So I had to just stand up. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm about to ask you that. So now that happened, did the streets like kick up, or was just like shit die down? Like, do they start? Because the cops got killed. So now are they like on some?
Niggas getting low. They blitzing hoods. Yeah, they brought the heat down on our whole set for that case. When that case happened, they blitzed everybody hood. They put the pressure on niggas. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of other people just started catching other cases just
everybody was mad at me. Like, this nigga Tutt guy's hot. Got the whole hood hot on the kill car. He bugged out. He walked to my homies come from. I'm hearing everything. You know what I'm saying? So they throwing me under the bus. Don't nobody want to talk to me on the phone. Don't nobody come in no courtroom. None of that because I'm hot. Yeah. So nobody want to be a part. So now you start saying who your real homies is. Yeah. Start saying who the real niggas that's gonna ride or die for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That situation showed me I was by myself, bro. I ain't had nobody but my family and me. I had to hold up. Yeah. You know what I mean, I was in that when I went to that county jail. I couldn't get around no homies or nothing. They was isolating me. When they moved me, 20 guards moving with me. Yeah. They got stick shields, mace ready to, one move wrong, they ready to knock me upside my head and justify it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, word. So that's crazy. Rough, I'm about to say that. So now you down, so your charges and shit. So what year was that? That shit was on the news and everything?
Yeah, that was 2005. Made the news, man. It was every news channel. It was on every newspaper, front
They probably
page.
made you like a fucking monster.
Word, officer got killed, bro. Death penalty. I was facing a death penalty. It was over. It wasn't no way out of it. Everybody had me finished. They put the dirt on me and they buried me, everything, bro. It was over.
It was over.
You know what I mean? But I knew it wasn't over for me because I knew I didn't do it. Yeah. I knew what happened. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew how it went. I broke it down to you. That's exactly how everything went down. I knew I didn't have no gun on me. They saying I had a gun. I pulled the gun out, shot him 10 times in the head. All type of stuff they was talking about. They had witnesses coming to court saying that they seen me with a gun. It was unreal, bro.
They wanted to finish you.
And I even had no gun. Like, they was really lying on me. This one girl came to court, said she seen me shoot the officer 5 times in the head with the gun. And he only got shot once.
That's right.
Like, it was crazy, bro. You know what I mean? So Yeah, that was a serious situation I went through, bro. And it kind of like, you know what I mean, one of those adversity build character moments, bro.
Yeah.
And that was mine for me, bro. You know what I mean? So
like I said, like you said, so now that happens. Now you fight your case. So what was what they were trying to offer? You said the death penalty and all that shit.
yeah, so once, you know what I mean, I went to the county, you know what I mean, I was in the county jail, they put me in the infirmary. They already had plans to send me to Trenton State Prison, even if I wasn't convicted of nothing. They wasn't leaving me in the county jail because of the high profile case that happened in Newark.
Yeah.
And then I had high ranking gang status. So the gang members, they waiting for me to come to the building. I'm gaining more credibility amongst them
even more
because
crazy.
now they done killed the cop. That's in their mind. They believe it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So they was just like, they didn't want to keep me in the county jail because it was just too much influence for me to have in there and what the case. They didn't want me to say if I was going to come in there and cause an uproar, which I was. Because I was trying to when I came in.
Yeah.
Because I was mad that I got done unjudged. Y'all shot me. Y'all got me in how I ain't do it. 'Cause I kept saying I was innocent, but anybody want to hear me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I went in the county jail, I just wasn't cooperating with them in there. I mean, I ain't want to eat nothing. I ain't want no, like they want to give me no medication from the hospital that they had me on in there because I was feeling all my pain now and they ain't care.
Yeah.
So I was just like rebelling. So they kicked me out of there. Like, I was just like, whenever the police come by, so I'm trying to throw stuff on them, I was just wilding.
Yeah.
I was kicking and screaming because they would treat me like a monster and I was acting like one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just psychologically, it was a lot for me to deal with. So when they just kicked me out the jail. They called the Trenton State Prison people to come get me.
And so now you're in Trenton State.
Now I'm in Trenton State Prison.
So that's not you ain't even charged yet though.
I ain't even, I'm not even, I got arraigned.
Yeah.
But I'm not indicted. I ain't get time, but they got me in prison already.
In prison already.
I mean, I don't know how they got that off, but like how I'm in Trenton State, but that's nothing I was complaining about. Call my family. I need Johnny Cochran law firm. I was wilding. I'm down there. I need the best lawyer because they doing me unjust. How I'm in Trenton State Prison where when you go to Trenton State Prison, that's when you lose trial on a homicide. Everybody down Trenton State Prison they lost trial on murders. There ain't nobody down there with no gun charge. Ain't nobody down there with no even like a shooting charge, stuff like that.
Everybody in there.
Trenton is a body. You lose trial on first degree murder, you go to Trenton.
Period.
So how am I in Trenton? Like y'all already got me losing trial before we even start.
Yeah.
So they had me in Trenton, but what they did was they had me in a special housing unit in Trenton.
Okay.
Called management control unit. So they didn't have me. I didn't have like access to the prisoners, but I was a state prisoner basically. But they couldn't let me have access to a state prisoner because if something happened to me when a state prisoner, I could sue because I'm not a state inmate.
Yeah.
They had me under special housing. So I was a county inmate just being housed in a state facility based off of my gang affiliations and being a threat to the security of the prison. That's how they finagled it. You know what I'm saying? It was called Title 30 something that they came up with. A law they came up with to combat gang
They
members.
probably created that shit for you.
They created it. I'm telling you, they created. They smart. They lawmakers. They behind the scenes seeing something on. Let's create this. Let's have put it through Senate and they stamp it, approve it. Now, boom, it's a long place, and we ain't even get to challenge it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what was going on with us back in the day when all this gang stuff was taking over. We lived through the real seriousness of the gang stuff, how they viewed us. We done been through stuff, and this is why I be trying to preach to like a lot of young boys that's out here now trying to be on gang time with some homies. I'm speaking from a place of experience, bro. I'm not making nothing up. It's something I lived through.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying? I was in Trenton State Prison facing the death penalty. They were sending death penalty lawyers to see me and death penalty attorneys that represent me, and they even knew they wasn't going to give me the death penalty because the death penalty had already got abolished in Jersey in 2005 under John Corzine, the governor.
Yeah.
So they knew they wasn't going to indict, try nobody under no death penalty cases in Jersey. Anyway, they had 12 people on death row that they never executed.
Yeah.
And they knew that they was abolishing it. So those 12 people that was on death row was just going to be regular life in prison. They was going to change their sentences instead of death penalty to life in prison. Which still is a death sentence, but they just not going to put the needle on you.
Okay.
Because Jersey wasn't executing people for like almost 60, 70 years. They ain't execute nobody. And the new government said he was against it.
So now you going, like, did you take it to trial or you took a plea bargain? Like,
I went to trial.
You took the trial and you lost?
Yeah, they ain't even give me no plea bargain. So, you know what I mean? Once I got into the, I told you they had tried to indict me under the death penalty statute. Death penalty was being thrown off the table in 2006. I got charged in 2005.
Yeah.
So 2006, when the law passed that had been abolished, they dropped the death penalty statute that they gave me. They dropped that and they just had me now as a regular first degree murder and attempted murder case.
Okay.
So they didn't offer me no plea deals. They wanted straight trial. And at the time I was in Trenton, I had got an attorney. My family had put up some money for me to get me a lawyer. So when the lawyer came to see me, they I still had that RICO case pending. Remember the RICO charge I told you about?
Yeah.
I still was out on that. So they was trying to offer me something on that. So my lawyer came and said, look, they trying to offer you 6 flat for the RICO case, but they trying to get me to cop out to that case, get sentenced so they can justify why they got me in Trenton State Prison. So I'm like, nah, I'm not taking that. I shouldn't even been in Trenton State Prison. Why they got me in prison? You see, name the law, but the law not even official. And if something happens to me while I'm in prison, my family gonna sue the state because I should be in the county.
Yeah.
Y'all can put me in PC in the county, whatever y'all want me to protect me in the county for whatever influence you think I got in the county, but I should be in the county jail. My family can come visit me. They can't even come visit me down here.
Yeah.
I can't even, I had to wait almost a year before I could use the regular phone because I had to go through all these channels to, write the internal affairs, write this person because I wasn't a state inmate, so I don't get state inmate necessities, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. Yeah. Where if you're a state inmate, you got right to a phone list, you got right to a visiting list, you got right to come out contact visits, you got right to go to the mess hall. You're a state inmate.
Yeah, fact.
I'm not a state inmate, so I can't even get treated like a state inmate. So I'm a county inmate getting treated like a county inmate in a state prison, which didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Only thing that kind of helped me was I had a TV in my cell. They let me go to the commissary, but they wouldn't let me get like the visits and not. They couldn't move like that.
It wasn't COs wasn't trying to poison you and try to hurt you and shit like that, or nah.
They was on it like that down there.
Yeah.
When I first got in there, because I was going at it with the COs when I came down there.
Yeah.
Same behavior I came in the county with, I took it to Trenton with. You know what I'm saying? Kicking and screaming, banging on the door, just acting like an animal because they would treat me like one until I just calmed down eventually on my own and got in tune with myself because I knew me kicking and screaming wasn't going to open the door for me.
Yeah.
Me throwing food back at the COs when they come out trying to feed me wasn't going to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All it was going to do is get to a point where I'm going to be fighting these COs in for the rest of the time I'm in here.
Yeah.
And I can't win because there's so many of them. It's just me and I'm by myself. I ain't got no homies with me or nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like I had to submit and be humble myself. Like, all right, you know what I mean? I got to fall in line.
So what year did you get sentenced? Like you got sentenced, like you lost trial, or did you?
Yeah, so what happened was in 2007, they put me on trial for the racketeering case.
Okay.
Because I was like, I refused the plea bargain. I'm not copping out. I mean, like, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm innocent. So they took me to trial on it. It was 40 co-defendants I had, but 39 of them copped out already.
Okay.
But they didn't cop out and implement me in their plea. They just copped out to whatever part they played in the conspiracy.
Okay.
So I went on trial for it. And this is how I learned a lot about the gang culture when I went on that RICO trial. I learned a lot of information that I never normally would have knew if I wouldn't have went to trial on that because I forced the state to reveal their hands, how they put a RICO case together against us.
Okay.
So everybody that cop out, you won't force that because you'll cop out, you just say, all right. But me, I forced it, so now I wanted all investigations, the information they got, what dates they got with this and that. So it was 2 confidential informants that they had working with them to trying to bring us down, to identify all the gang members, and they was Bloods.
Okay.
And they was part of the foundation, everything. They were significant Bloods who knew niggas and knew history, knew information.
So niggas just basically infiltrating.
They infiltrated. They was working with them and identifying us. And one of the guys couldn't come to court for my trial because he was a federal informant in PA because he helped them work some homies down there. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
So Fed's Trump state. So they lost one of their main witnesses in my case.
Okay.
That helped me.
Okay.
So I would have knew that they lost him if I wouldn't have forced them to go to trial.
Okay.
So that helped me. So they lost that person out to identify us as a gang member because he was going to be like, oh, I was there when Tutt came home. That was such and such.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to come, so they couldn't use his testimony.
Okay.
And then they was identifying a lot of the gang members through the tattoos.
Okay.
So they had all these tattoos from 1993 on Rikers Island, where all of the gang members first started at. So all the information that they got from Rikers Island, from the law enforcement over there, they gathered all that, and they was using that against us over here. Cause they're like, yeah, we got the same problem that y'all had over here. It got the Jersey. So it's in Newark, and we got some gang guys we trying to take down now. So they tried to do the same RICO case that they brought against the New York Bloods. So they copied that indictment and copied all the information and used it on us.
This is federal or state?
State. It was state. This all was state.
So the state RICO case. Okay.
State RICO. Okay. State never did this. The first RICO case they ever did on the gangs, and it was us. We caught the first RICO. And this was in early 2000. Okay. But by 2006, I'm going to trial for it. It didn't reach the trial till like 5 years later.
Yeah.
And that was 2006. Okay. So throughout that trial, they revealing all their investigating methods to make the case make sense to the people of the court. So, Your Honor, we do this. This is how we identify gang members. So everything that they were talking about what they do wasn't conducive to what y'all were trying to identify with me as being part of, because all the stuff that they had, the tattoos, all that, I never had none of that.
Yeah.
So that helped me too, beat it too, because they were like, all right, when they put the 3 paws right here, or they put the 9-3, that's they set, because that's what they were doing with a lot of the gang members. They took pictures of it in New York.
Yeah.
And they was using that to identify that. So now you got to show that on me.
Yeah.
So y'all forming the gang, y'all letting us know what it is, but how can y'all connect Tutt to the gang?
Yeah.
Because I never told y'all I was no blood.
Yeah.
I never, signed no papers that said I was this, and I never talked to none of y'all when y'all came around, because they had gang intelligent officers used to come to the jails trying to talk to people, pull them out their cells. Like, yeah, we heard about you, Tutt, man. You're supposed to be a 5-star general. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
5-star general with what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What is that? You know what I mean? I have to play dumb on them niggas and be like, all right, we know. All right, if y'all know it ain't my job to prove it, prove that I'm a 5-star general. That's what I'm telling you. I was always different from a lot of the Brooklyn police. Don't scare me. I ain't nervous when they come around or nothing. Like, I'm smart just like you smart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm into and what I'm not into. And at that time, I was into what I was into, but I wasn't into it the way they were trying to put it. I wasn't like all the information they got, I was not into. I wasn't the one with the teardrops on the face that said, oh, I caught 3 bodies, so I got 3 teardrops.
And it wasn't like you ain't had nobody that was telling on you either.
I didn't have nobody that was telling them. Like, all my guys was standing up. We just had the other dude that was trying to say, oh yeah, they 9-3. They this and that. But anybody can say you anything, but they have to prove it.
Prove it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they couldn't prove in my case. So I got acquitted on all 17 charges.
And you beat the RICO charge.
I beat the RICO charge. I was the only one that beat it. And so when I beat that, that was a victory for me.
Yeah, they did.
And that was in the newspaper too. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, he beat the RICO case. So everybody thinking like, he got the cop one now.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen with that? You know what I mean? And they still was holding me down training for the cop one.
Yeah.
But when I beat that, I came back with a lot of knowledge of
the law
and how they view us. And that's another thing that would kind of have me changing too.
Okay.
Based off of my experiences, I said, oh, we got to move different on this, bro, because this how they coming on this.
Yeah.
So now we got to do new direction. Now we got to, talk to the community. We got to come together as one. We got to revolutionize our minds, because they already got us as an organization and structure, and we not even really structured like that. But
they going off the past shit too. They using shit that like you said, from New York,
and
then match it. Like, well, this is what we seen in New York, so let's just
implement it over here in Jersey. Like, this is how we gonna attack. How we attacked it in New York. Let's attack it like this in Jersey.
Yeah.
And me beating the case was was another step in my growth and the blessings that I was getting, because I was getting blessed in a lot of this stuff. I'm always gonna give praise to God a lot, man, for everything He helped me get through to get to this moment now where we on new direction.
Okay.
The new direction is a serious movement, but all the credibility is coming from what we talking about. It's how you can create new direction. How you come out and tell a bunch of these homies something. I got credibility with them already.
Yeah.
Because all based off of all I went through, my word means something.
Yeah.
I'm not just somebody that's a community activist that's talking about because I went to school and I just want to see my people move forward, and that's cool. And I work with a lot of them, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with what they're doing, but in order to touch the trenches and the gang culture, you need real live, solidified gang members to change their life in their direction and push it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
So your faith, you Muslim.
I'm Christian.
Christian. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Christian.
Okay.
I was raised in a Christian-based family.
Okay.
But I respect the Muslim.
Okay.
I got a lot of my brothers that's Muslim too. And I always contemplated about turning Muslim before too.
I wanted to ask you that because I wanted to know, because like I see, is it because it's a Christian, like it's a religion, but I see people that's a Muslim and blood. Is that like a thing?
A conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be like that, but because sometimes, a lot of the homies, you got some homies that like blood as their religion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's their God. They got godfathers under there they worship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but you have the conscious people, nothing can kind of over trump God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God is the supreme being of us all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you try to lump something negative in with something righteous, it won't work out for you. You're gonna get discredit within mankind, period.
Yeah.
So if you Muslim, nobody gonna challenge your faith.
Yeah.
Because if you Muslim, you don't gotta be blood, bro. You know what I mean? Like, drop your flag and be Muslim, because you can't be a full-fledged Muslim and be on your deen connected to the negativity with the gangs, because the gang is a lot of negativity come with that.
Yeah.
We trying to change it now, whereas though it could be all right for a Muslim to be part of a positive gang culture, because it's coming from a righteous standpoint.
Yeah.
But you can't mix the two. So we ran into a lot of conflicts like that before.
But I say, because I seen it a lot. They say like in jails and shit.
Yeah,
like, they say
jail
like,
go like
like Muslims be Muslims and Bloods be Bloods, but then it's like you blood in Muslims. So how did it like? It's like pick a side,
right? Exactly. And you got to, and a lot of Muslims, you got some serious Muslim brothers that really dealing hard, that really believe in their faith.
Yeah.
And they hold faith, and they believe it's not about based off of negativity. It's about positivity. So
shit.
if you coming into Jumar and you got some gang stuff going on and some guys beefing, you put the Muslim community in harm's way, having to address some negative stuff that's not even coming from, Allah. I mean, it's not coming from the teachings that they teaching.
Yeah.
They don't have nothing to do with what they believe in. So they won't want you to bring that negative energy to some positive and righteous. So they'll let you handle that, get rid of that, or stop doing that to come over here. You don't want to be doing both.
Yeah.
So some bloods that's Muslim in blood, they won't choose. They just still be blood, but they just pray on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're like, I don't mess with my Muslim brothers. They don't mess with me. So, but I'm still Muslim. I'm still gonna pray on my own. But I'm with the Bloods because that's a strong foundation too. That blood stuff is serious, bro.
So with your new direction, do you like I know you blood and shit. Do you mix? 'Cause I know you just said back like you used to be against the Crip shit. So how that work now? Like, do you have the newer directions with like Crips a part of your movement?
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So like it's war before it's peace. You know what I mean? When it came for the Crips, and I used to be at war with them a lot, which was got me to a peaceful place for them now.
Yeah.
Because I know what war looked like with them. And, they solid dudes. They stand up. They strong. You know what I mean? They stand on their foundation, same way Blood stand on their foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got the wild guys that play, the guys that believe in it, that'll hold it down too. So, you know what I mean? With me, I came at peace within myself with them. And I don't look at them at no Blood or Crip ass. I don't mean no opposition.
Yeah.
I look at them as brothers. You know what I'm saying? Only one color matter to me is the color on their skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I ain't letting no flags or no colors, separate us. And then once I found the history about their history is similar to ours, where they were supposed to have been like, a black revolutionary group for their people too.
Yeah.
Like what Blood stands for, Blood, brotherly love, override oppression, truck society. Crips, corruption, revolutionary independent party. All of it came from the BLAs and the Black Panthers to be offshoots for our community, not for us to war against each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once I found the real history of why Bloods and Crips was won, and something happened in California where somebody tripped on the Blood and somebody got robbed and shot, and then boom, it's just been a generational war.
Yeah.
And I thought, that ain't make sense.
Yeah.
So let's come back and try to stop that generational war and bring, some unity and some love and respect to each other.
So you think because like you said from Cali, so you think like how it was in Cali, like you said, like whatever Blood said versus
Right.
Crip said in Cali, did you think that they started over here on the East Coast, that shit already like, yo, them niggas don't fuck with Bloods, don't fuck with Crips over there. We
Right.
definitely fuck with them over here. Like,
Exactly, and that's what it was. We inherited.
Yeah, they beef.
Yeah, we basically inherited something California was doing. We didn't even know what California Bloods and Crips beef stemmed from because they didn't start off beefing from the rip.
Yeah.
Something happened to make these two different, basically revolutionary organizations go at each other because that's what they was created for.
Yeah.
They was created to be two revolutionary organizations designed to protect their people and their community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Black Panthers and the Black Liberation Army. You know what I mean? So the Black Panther would probably been like, would be the Bloods,
Yeah.
and the Black Liberation Army would be the Crips. They two different factions, but all for the same purpose.
cause.
But the Bloods and Crips started beefing with each other, going to war with each other. And once the Blood and Crips started going to war with each other, all that black power and black unity was out the window.
Yeah.
Because the strength, which was us supposed to be to carry the torch for the Black Panthers and the BLA to uplift our people,
Yeah.
we took the torch and used it against each other.
Yeah.
And it was somewhere in a way that, we believe Hoover and all those people who was in position back then kind of created some type of diversion to have us beefing with each other. And this was a beef that stood on from the 60s all the way until basically the 2023.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until somebody come in and say, this beef is wrong and let's stop
Let's
it.
change this shit direction. Like you said, new direction.
And this is what we doing with New Direction, bro.
So that's what you do, explains like what you do now, like the whole movement, like what you got going on now.
Yeah, the movement we got going on now is basically, when I came home from doing my time, I beat the racketeering case, and I finally went on trial for the homicide for the officer, and then I got acquitted on that, and I got convicted of reckless manslaughter and possession of a weapon, and a couple of other minor charges. But I beat the first degree murder, I beat the attempted murder.
Okay.
So once I beat the first degree murder and attempted murder, they hit me with less exclusive offense, but they gave me 10 years for reckless manslaughter for causing an officer death because they know I didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
Evidence came out in court that didn't support me as being the shooter. I had a co-defendant on there. He beat it too because they didn't know if he was the shooter. I mean, I'm not telling him he the shooter. I ain't saying, he was him or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Our lawyers just was like fighting the case, and our lawyers made it make sense
Yeah.
to the jury, and the jury couldn't identify beyond a reasonable doubt if it was me
Or him.
so they had to quit us.
Yeah.
But they still wanted to hold somebody accountable because the officer did lose his life.
Yeah.
So they just gave me the lesser charge. All right, it's his fault because he shouldn't have brought the guys out here. So we're going to give him 10 years.
Yeah.
And I added up, they gave me 10 years and 4 or 5 year sentence for 4 other charges that I got that had something to do with, you know what I mean, at the school, like receiving stolen property, the car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had a gun in the car that never fired, a 40 caliber. They found in there. They charged me with that. Then they charged me with terroristic threats and like 5 vials of cocaine they found inside of the back seat of the car. So they gave me 5 years for all those charges, and then 10 years for the officer, was equal 30 years with 18 and a half stip.
God damn.
And that's what I ended up with. After the smoke cleared from the cop situation, I went to trial. I beat all the serious stuff, which was the life in prison.
Still was 30.
I still ended up with 30. You know what I mean? Because he overkilled me on the sentence because he was mad that I beat the case. He was like, oh, they let you get away with murder. This jury lacked common sense. The judge started going off in the courtroom. Man, started arguing. So it helped me on record when I appealed my sentence.
Yeah.
The other judges seen that he was talking like that, and they threw the sentence out. And I ended up with 20 with a 13 and a half. Okay. That was my final sentence.
Okay. So
after I was in prison, so I just had to do 13 and a half.
How long you had to do before your appeal came up?
About 6 years.
Okay. So
well, I was down in Trenton for like 6 years.
They still sent you to Trenton.
Yeah, they kept me in Trenton. So what happened was, remember I told you they had me in that Trenton unit? So they kept me down there. So once I finished all my court stuff, went back home for the cap.
Staying at.
They sentenced me. When they sentenced me,
yeah,
they let me out the population.
Still in Trenton.
Like 2 weeks later. But Trenton population though. I wasn't in that. I was in isolation for 6 years. I couldn't move. I was locked 23-hour lockdown 6 years.
So, but I'm saying, so you did the I remember you were saying in the beginning, like you saying that everybody that go to Trenton State be like motherfuckers that straight bodies, like that's their last stop basically.
Bro, 30, you gotta have 30 or better go down there.
That's what I'm saying. So they still put you down there. They even give a fuck. Like
they
you
ain't care about none of that. They like, yo, this nigga he gonna be convicted of a body.
Yeah.
They ain't think I was gonna beat the situation, all them situations. Like the racketeering kid, I could have got 20 years for if I would have lost.
Yeah.
If I lost on the cop situation, I would have probably got 400 years, bro. Cause he would have gave me the numbers. Cause you know you get anywhere 30 from first degree murder in Jersey.
Yeah.
30 to life. So they can give you 40 years, they can give you 50, they can give you 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. Or they could just give you 30 to life.
So they just create numbers to make your head fucking blow.
To make it look to the public. He got 80 years. Like EDR and them, they got 80 years. Pele got 95 years. Duke got 74 with a 34 stip. That's what they doing. Yeah, that's their time.
Give them crazy numbers.
Right, until the pill come back. If the pill come back, then you good. But if not, you got to serve them numbers out. And if you 60 years old, you come from parole board, old and gray, you got 60 years in prison, they say, oh, you still a threat to society. You're old, but might kill somebody. They gonna keep you in there until you die.
Damn. All right, so they gave you all that time, you know what I mean?
Word.
So what was your mindset like for Tutt to be like coming straight off the streets? Because you came home, what year you came home?
2019.
So you come home 2019. What's your mindset?
Yeah, so basically, you know what I mean, throughout them 13 and a half years that I did, you know what I'm saying, and in prison, you know what I mean, I learned a lot. I was able to find myself. I had enough time to sit down and reflect on everything I went through. Okay. And you know, I got a little more in tune with my faith. And you know, just praying a lot. And then when I came home, I just like a vision came to me. I knew when I was come home, I was gonna go in another direction. Cause I knew based off of everything I've been through, I can't go back to that old direction. Like, it ain't gonna work. I seen too many examples of it failing for a lot of my bros. Yeah. Failing for me. It fell for me. I mean, obviously, if I just did 13 and a half years in prison, so I knew I was gonna come home and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to come in a better direction. I wanted to work. I wanted to, you know, be a family man because I had grew up in prison, so I became a grown man in there. My mind changed and everything. Yeah. So I knew I was gonna come home basically on a new direction. Yeah. And I didn't never think of it as I was gonna start a whole foundation called New Direction where I was gonna like revolutionize the culture of people to do right. I didn't, I mean, even look at it on that, you know what I mean? But I knew I wanted to come out and do something better for the homies that looked up to me. Yeah. Because I still had a significant name to the culture. I'm coming home with a clean name. My name not messed up. I ain't rat on nobody. I ain't ever do no snakes up to none of my niggas. So I'm coming back home like really a hero to my bros. Yeah. You know what I mean? But for the wrong reasons. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I wanted to use, you know what I mean, whatever blessing God gave me to come on back to my family again. Yeah. I promised God that I would use it the right way. Yeah. You know what I mean? I knew that promise I made to him is the reason why I was stepping out those prison doors. And I was able to beat a lot of those situations and overcome them because that blessing that God gave me and that vision he gave me, which was New Direction. And I gave it to my people. And I didn't think it was going to take off, that I was going to get to a point where we really become a public safety organization, not really realizing that we were a part of the safety to the public by how we was operating. Like, I mean, and I knew I wasn't gonna come home and operate like that again. I'm automatically gonna become a public safety figure. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this what hit us now with the foundation we created, with New Direction is we was able to come back into our community, be accepted by our mayor, who was the principal at the school that day when this situation happened. And now I come home 14 years later, he the mayor of the city. And
So, Paul, I ain't gonna cut you off. So you saying when that situation happened with the cop getting killed, he was the principal then?
Yeah.
Now he the mayor.
right.
Man, that's dope.
He was the mayor. He was the mayor of the city. So, he had some reservations of me coming home. The city of Newark Police Department had some reservations because, last they seen me, I was some wild guy that got accused of killing a Newark police officer. So the city wasn't ready to accept me coming back home.
Yeah.
So I had to get paroled out down South Jersey to my family house down there because my mother and them still was in Newark. My residence was still there.
Yeah.
I come home, I ain't got nowhere to go. I got to go back to where my family at.
Yeah.
So it was a lot going on with that, whereas there was a lot of politics involved. So I had to go down, South Jersey, made me reflect more on the New Direction. So I was able to still start my New Direction process and do some of the work I was doing with one of my partners, which is Eight the Great. That's my guy. He the one who kind of like got me tied into the mayor and all because he was like he elected councilman for the 5th Ward over there where I'm from.
Okay.
He a gang member too, but he changed his life and got into politics. Nice. And trying to help the community out. He was trying to do the same similar work that I came home with doing. He was doing it already, but just not at the magnitude of where we at now.
Yeah.
Once I partnered with him, I took him to another level. You know what I mean?
Nice, nice.
And that's how we got to the point now where we receive, funding for.
What's that? I'm about to ask you what's that right there. So
so we got funding, for our organization. This came from the city of Newark. It's like an anti-violence coalition that they got going on where they got a bunch of different community organizations that get funded by the government.
Nice.
For us, part of the public safety budget that they get every year. They get millions and millions of dollars to dump into their community to keep people safe. And most of it goes to like the police officers and like the ambulance, people that's really a part of public safety.
Yeah.
But our mayor came up with a program where you can curate a public safety organization within your community and that they will get y'all grant money to fund y'all infrastructure. And all y'all kind of got to do is, go to the community, try to, talk about stopping the violence, try to get relationship with gang members in the community or people on the blocks that's causing violence. And if you could talk to them about, putting the guns down and, creating some type of infrastructure within the streets to be able to come like, look, everything ain't got to be violent. We got programs to help y'all get y'all mental health treatment. And, it takes money to do that. It takes money to hire psychologists to talk to people in the streets that's going through psychological trauma or somebody that got shot before who want revenge on the next person. They don't want to listen to the police or nothing like that. They want blood. Yeah. So we need some regular conscious people to come in there to talk to them, talk them off the ledge, tell them like, listen, bro, we could go another way about doing this. You know what I'm saying? We can get you some help, mentally help you with some of the, things that you suffering from whatever happened when you got shot. Psychologically, you could be hurt, somebody shot you. You'll probably never be the same again.
Yeah.
You want to have a gun on you all the time or something, but you need somebody to talk to. Yeah. And a lot of our people in the community wasn't getting that help. So with these community-based organizations that the mayor allowed us to create and help fund, it helps us reach the core streets of the problem where everybody's going through a lot of the trauma at. And a lot of people that don't want to talk to the police, they'll talk to us.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to lock you up or nothing. We're just trying to make sure that you're safe and make sure we can stop that beef. If you're beefing with somebody across town, we want to be able to go over and talk to them brothers. We're going to talk to y'all and bring y'all brothers together. Yeah. And now ain't no beef no more.
Yeah.
Newark never had that. This is what we got now with New Direction. And this is what we got now with a lot of the things we doing in the community. And us, based off of some of the stuff that we was doing, we received the award. Yeah, so I got a community partnership award, come from the city of Newark. This came from like the mayor and it came from the chief of police.
Okay.
And when me being charged with an officer being killed in our city and not to have the police really not like me, not be against me.
Yeah.
But to respect what I'm doing with New Direction and to get this award was monumental for us.
Let me see, bro.
And it get to a point where when you come from the streets, it says a community partnership award, right?
Yeah.
And you got street people that's ignorant that don't understand the significance of me receiving an award like this for a foundation I committed. That I created called New Direction, which is really a public safety organization that's designed to protect the people, which the Newark Police Department is supposed to be designed to protect the people too. But we know they can't.
Yeah.
The Newark Police Department can come after somebody gets shot, find out who did it and lock the person up and put them in jail. But they can't protect a person from not being shot because there's not enough police to walk around with every citizen to protect them with a gun.
Yeah.
So it's up to us to protect our people to make sure that they don't get shot, to make sure that the shooting don't happen, and that we could de-escalate it before shooting happen. So for them to respect what we doing, that's kind of making their job easier as far as like them having to respond. We don't want y'all to respond to no shooting. We don't want y'all to respond looking for nobody who shot nobody. We want to stop that from even happening. So y'all won't even have to respond. For them to respect what we doing, because this could take out of their money. This could take out of their pocket, out of their job. You know what I mean? Some cops, you know what I mean, they capitalize off of violence. Because that's what they need more money to fight crime. Because if crime ain't going on, it can mess with their budget. But you got some people in law enforcement that get into it because they really want to protect people. They ain't worrying about no budgets, no money. They just natural protectors. And these the ones that gave us this award. The people who don't care about money or budget or giving us nothing. And these the people who made sure we got this money. Is the people that's worried about protecting humanity and protecting our people and our culture. And for them to give us an award is big, because I was charged with one of them officers getting killed. And for them to give me a community partnership award based off of my foundation I created, that's a lot. Giving back to my community. And we all about second chances in life. And you know what I mean? People rehabilitating themselves. And even an officer who lost his life in this situation, going to be honored, because he was a part of something that created something that was way bigger than him and his family. And even my family, because New Direction is going to save future officers from getting killed. It's gonna save future kids from getting in gangs and dying in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, in a weird way, I mean, his legacy gonna live on through us too. And we're gonna continue to honor, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everything he was doing that day to protect the people out there, he was doing that to protect them. I wasn't. I came out here trying to like protect my little sister. I didn't care about nobody else out there. And we collided. And he mishandled me, and I mishandled the situation, and somebody lost their life. He lost his life, his family suffered, but for us to come back and be able to use that situation for the good, I mean, I think that's the best that I can do as far as showing my remorse for what happened. Is, you know what I mean, working with everybody in the community to make it safe for everybody.
That's dope, yo. I tilt my hat for you. That's fire. Bro. And I respect it, because like I said, it takes a person strong-minded to be like, yo, let's dead that shit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people want to keep egging shit on and sending people down the path of destruction. You know what I'm saying? I say that to like a lot of my friends, man. If I fuck with you, I say you my bro, whatever. I mean that. I want to see the best for you. I don't want to see, you know what I mean, something that's going to lead to destruction. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a lot of people that's like you said, doing what you're doing on that type of level. You know what I mean? Because maybe you might help a person in Detroit or somewhere else that's not even probably in a gang. That's probably just want to just change the narrative of the street code.
Exactly. That just see, I mean, see the story, man. See what we get through, and I mean, and be inspired by what we do. Like we say, we changing a lot of lives, man, and we saving a lot of lives. And we gonna continue to push forward, man. And we know like this is like God's plan, bro. You know what I mean? It ain't even our plan. Ain't nothing we sat down and thought about doing. It's like all our stuff we doing organically, because we just really genuinely from the heart want to protect our people and see them win in life, because we've been through so much. You know what I mean? And a lot of my homies that's not here today, or some of them that's in prison, that might not never hit the streets again. They living through us, man. And it's very inspiring for me to be able to see that we can help them in their situations, whether, you know what I mean, we can help them get lawyers and money, commissary for their accounts, just to make them feel a little more comfortable in the situation, and they could hear that something that they was a part of that turned into something so great that they ain't even think it could be possible with. You know what I mean? So we don't have to live with no regrets. And we could just live in the moment now and what we got going on. And anything we did in the past will outweigh some of the things that we did in the negative. You know what I mean? We could outweigh it, and just like God giving us a chance to redeem ourselves. And I kind of like sparked the change with it.
Yeah, I'm about to say that because like I know you probably a lot of like, so like for instance, like your big bro, you say like Duke or whatever, like I mean I know he see what you got going on.
He see what I got going on.
So I know that he probably like how he view that, like, you know what I mean, they think like, damn, bro used to be the wild nigga back in the day. So how that like, you know, the conversation is way different now.
Exactly. So with bro, you know what I mean, it's inspiring to him because, you know what I mean, like he remember how I was, and then, you know what I mean, he see like where I'm at now, and then he hear like the success of the movement and how it's pushing forward. Even inspiring him to get on New Direction time, because it's hard for your big homie to start following you. You know what I mean? Because that's the big bro. You know what I mean? So, you know, they always gonna have you in that light. But then if they know you got something that making sense, it's like I be having him hit me up now, like, yeah, man, I'll stop something from going on there. You know, the homie about to get into it. But I had to, you know what I mean, tell me like, nah, chill, man. I learned that from you, bro. That New Direction, man. You know, we on New Direction time here. You know what I mean? So it's inspiring to him, and he's seeing the success in it.
Yeah.
He's saying, I mean, the accolades we getting and me being in a position where, I mean, he thinking like, oh, them police gonna try to set you up, you come home, or somebody gonna try to kill you because them homies in the street probably scared you or something. Anything. You know how you think when you come home, and I've been here going on 5 years and I ain't had those issues, and now where we at now is inspiring for him to see.
Yeah.
So he definitely, you know what I mean, like respect the movement and see what's going on, and we definitely leading by example. So I mean, we definitely inspiring.
That's dope, man. And before we go, man, last question for I got for you. So like I said, for you for doing all this, man, like tell me like the disconnection, like how because they said it's because the youth is like where we trying to grasp, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what you think is the disconnection that you think that is the hardest part of this whole process for you though?
Yeah, so you know, with the youth, it's just, you know, them not having no big homies, them not having a fair shot of knowing what rules, regulation, and structure. Like we got a whole new generation of young guys out here that's claiming gangs and creating their own gangs. And they're not even real right. I mean, they don't even have a history on it. So I think that's the real thing with me. And I'm trying to get the other big homies do is just educate the little bro, the next generation, so they won't make the same mistakes we made. I mean, we ain't gonna be able to save all of them. Some of them gonna do what they gotta do. But I feel like as big homies, we gotta educate them, help them create some infrastructure within what they doing, and help them see that y'all can do things the right way, a positive way, and still be able to benefit financially, because most of our issues come from lack of financial resources. Most of the little homies I encounter, their mothers can't afford to buy them the Yeezys. They can't afford to buy them the Jordan 4s, or they can't afford to get them the latest iPhone. You know, with all the social media stuff and school now and all the kids coming through with their nice little stuff on sneakers, everybody in competition with each other, even down from the juveniles to the adults. It's a competition thing, and if they can't keep up, they're gonna do whatever they could do to get that, whether go steal some Yeezys or, you know what I mean, or go rob somebody for their phone. They want an iPhone, you know what I mean? So we gotta get them in position where we can create some type of resources that they can work and get some money so they can buy those things legitimately and not have to go out here and steal or kill somebody trying to get their stuff because you wanna, you know what I mean, have money and something in your pocket. So that's the biggest challenge for us now, is getting the resources, which these funds that we got is gonna help us because we got more coming, creating opportunities for the youth to be able to monetize off of some of the new direction stuff we doing. Whether you come to this program every day, we pay you $50 a day to come. You know what I mean? And now at the end of the week, you got $250 check. You go buy you something. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to have some resources for these kids to change. And that's what we're working on now. I'm handling that financial hardship that the kids got, was making them go out here and do a lot of the crimes they commit.
Yeah, do you think social, like I said, because you grew up in an era, even me, you know what I mean, we grew up in an era of like no social media. So like you said, your name came from the streets. You had to build your name up.
Right.
Now we had a social media platform that you can create this persona about whoever you want to be. Do you think that that's like a really like a hard thing too for the community, like young cats? Because like you said, like the kids being viewed on social media, they want to live this crazy like lifestyle, but it's social media, you know. So it's not, the social media life is not really real to the youth. You know what I mean? So it's like, do you think that's a part of the disconnection also? Like them like using whatever they doing in the streets just to showcase it on the, you know, the social media platform.
Yeah, it's definitely a disadvantage for us, man, because we be going through stuff now. We got a lot of the young boys that having beefs, and most of these beefs come from social media. You know what I mean? They smoking their ops and this block. You know, they learn a lot of that stuff from Chicago and, you know, Lil Durk and a lot of the stuff that, you know, King Von, that era. That's the era that kind of like got this youth really like going crazy. You know what I mean? And I respect Lil Durk too. Shout out to him, because he kind of changing his narrative and trying to change his approach. He tapping in doing some of the work that we doing with New Direction in Chicago. He trying to get with the mayor, and he doing some of that work too, because he know the influence that they have on the culture, the hip hop culture have on the street culture and the gang culture. And so it's definitely a disadvantage for us. But you know, a lot of that stuff they rap about is true stuff, so it sounds good to us, because it's like they be speaking that stuff that we really living through. So it relates to us, it connects to us, but it also can inspire us to keep it going. We got to figure out a way where we can get into the hip hop culture where we can turn them up, but then turn them back down to reality, man. You know what I mean? To let them know, like, all right, we've been through this, but look, bro, we need to really be doing this, man, because what we speak about is the stuff that we just seen, bro, and we got to be real about it. But we just want to try to see if we could change it and overcome it, and how can we overcome it? And that's where we at now. We're trying to, with the New Direction, trying to make it make sense.
Do you got any good? Do you have a lot of supporters like in the industry, like rapper wise, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We got people that support us. You know what I mean? We got like Albee, that's one of our top artists over here from Jersey. And when he came home, you know what I mean, and he seen what we was doing, we was able to connect with him and guide and protect him from a lot of the nonsense that he would have to deal with on his own.
Yeah.
And just try to push him in that new direction type time too. You know what I mean? With making sure that he reaches full potential as an artist and not have to worry about the street stuff and the politics of, who beefing with who and who don't like who. Let us go, mediate that. You know what I mean? And we deal with that. We professionalize the high risk intervention, mediation, conflict resolution. So, with him, he's one of our artists that support us a lot because it takes a lot of pressure on him to have to address certain things, to do certain things, because he'll see how we addressing and doing it. Because we all come from the same walks of life. We got the same issues you had in your community that's going on in our community. But how you deal with this, bro? And I let him know I deal with it this way and we move this way. We got to elevate our mind and think for the opposition, think for whoever is against us, whoever don't like us, we got to think for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, that's something wrong with them. Ain't nothing we doing wrong. We ain't going to dim our light to make somebody else feel secure in a spot. You know what I mean? So we get a lot of that that goes on in our culture. But yeah, we got him tapped in. Every time every artist come over here to perform in Jersey, that's within our kind of, territory where we operating at. We make sure they know who we are. You know what I mean? We had Jadakiss and them supported our movement, pushed up, held up the New Direction shirts when we was pushing the t-shirts and stuff out there. And
nice.
Rick Ross, you know what I mean? He supported our movement, held up the New Direction shirt and, showed the culture he supported. Who else? Like Bernice Burgos, she got a big influence on social media.
Yeah.
She, held our shirts up before and helped us push and get our message out there on, people that follow her. So there's a few artists that we tapped into whenever they come over here. But we're gonna start tapping more into them now too, because we know they got another platform soon. We definitely want them to.
Social media is a big platform to touch base on.
To get our movement out there.
Before we go, you got anything that you want to say to the people and everybody out there?
Nah, just peace, love, man, and kindness, man, is what we need for our culture, man, not people, man. And we don't be worried about what people think when you're trying to do what's right. Doing what's right is not popular in our culture, especially when it comes to the street culture. And I'm talking about something like the urban communities where it's a lot of fake love out there. Yeah. And when real people come around and doing real genuine stuff, I know it's hard to believe, because we're not used to it, but it's still real people out here that care. It's still real people out here that want to lead us in the right direction and just want to push us forward. And we some of the ones that's representing that, with New Direction. And it's not, my new direction, it's our new direction, especially when it comes to the gang culture. We all need to be, doing a better job protecting each other, protecting our people, protecting the kids in the community, educating the little homies on how they need to be operating out here. And it's, and if it's issues within our blocks, we need to be able to police that ourselves. We shouldn't have to, our community shouldn't be calling the police. They should be calling us. Yeah. You know what I mean? We should have a hotline for them to call and let us pull up and situate a situation that shouldn't have to involve the police or, nobody dying or going to jail for, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we here to, implement that structure for our culture. That's what New Direction about.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man. 100 grand, man.
You already know, Brody. Locked in.
Thanks again, New Direction. Check them out on Instagram. Love Unfiltered. We out.